Welcome to Forging a Life podcast with Coach Christine Clark. Forging a Life is a Sunglow transformation production aired on Transformation Talk Radio and all your favorite podcast platforms. If you own a business, have a side hustle, desire to make the leap into self-employment, or just love human interest stories, Forging a Life podcast is for you. Christine Clark is an internationally certified transformational life coach. She is the coach for your entrepreneurial life, and these are her people. Jump into the fire with those forging success on their own terms with courage, tenacity, and resilience. These are men and women you could easily meet on the street in your own community. Gain wisdom, insight, knowledge, and inspiration each episode as these business owners get transparent with Coach Christine Clark, sharing their passions, challenges, and origin stories. This is Forging a Life.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Forging a Life with Coach Christine Clark. Today my guest is Teri Kallem. Teri is the owner and she is also a personal trainer with S.H.E Fitness and Nutrition. Teri, go ahead and just tell everyone a little bit about your business and what you do.
Hi, Christine. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I'm excited to speak with you today. What do I do for S.H.E Fitness and Nutrition? Well, I actually am a personal trainer. The company was founded 2 years ago, and the vision was to empower women to be the best version of themselves through their fitness and their nutrition.
Beautiful. Now, having known you for a while, I remember when this was just kind of a concept that was coming together. You were working with a direct sales or network marketing company that was your primary source of income.
That's right. Yes.
And then life threw you a really severe curveball. And I would love for you to just kind of tell us about that transition, because I remember hearing you say that that was 90% of your income, and it was like less than 30 days it was going to be gone. And my heart went, oh my goodness, I could feel it. I would be like in sheer panic. You looked beautifully cool and like you had it all together and everything was working perfect. But I know that that's the outside. So tell us a little bit about that section or that season of transition for you.
Sure. Now in hindsight, it's easier to talk about. I certainly didn't feel calm and cool and collected. I'm glad it looked that way from the outside. So 2 years ago, I was getting ready to launch my vision, my passion to build S.H.E Fitness and Nutrition. It's a second career for me, and I had had the opportunity to leave my first career, walk away from that because of a direct sales business that I had built over 10 years. It was health and fitness related. It's what got me started on my personal fitness and nutrition journey. Had great success helping other people, and that's where I developed a passion for empowering other women to do the same thing that I had been able to do. Not only to change their health and their fitness and the nutrition for the positive and just be the best version of themselves, but also to help them build a business if that's what they were looking for and create that extra income, that side income, and, do some things that maybe they didn't think they would be able to do for their families. In doing that, I was able to walk away from my first career, which I still loved, but it had really become, it wasn't a labor of love anymore. It was, I did not have time freedom. Let's put it that way. I had freedom in my schedule, but I did not have time to spend with my family doing the things that I wanted to do.
What was it that you were doing before?
My first career was interior design. That degree was in, and worked in the field for 20 years. Knew since I was a girl of 10 that that's what I was going to do. Never thought I would do anything else. I just became passionate about really being healthier as we age, especially with women. Didn't ever consider myself an athlete at all. I was a cheerleader in high school. So I was not an athlete. I believe now that everybody is an athlete in some way, shape, or form. And so the way that we treat our bodies, that we create healthier habits, make a difference. Being able to make that difference for other people and show them how they could do it too was really important to me. So that business that I had built for 10 years exceeded my first career's income. And I was able to walk away from that and just really focus on my new passion. Was able to launch, got all the training, got my personal training certification, got certified in sports nutrition and weight loss nutrition, and really dig into some of these things that I wanted to help women with, and launch this vision of helping and empowering women to do the same thing through their fitness and nutrition. 6 months into it, that direct sales company that I had built that business with for 10 years and been able to help so many people through, changed their way that they went to market. They changed their distributor model, took away, yes, like you said, 90 to 95% of my income stream. Yes, I loved their products, I loved their culture, and I loved that company, but would you continue to work for a company that wasn't paying you anymore? So it was quite a shocker, when you pour your heart into something and it really changes your world.
Right. So when you got the news,
Mm-hmm.
what was your first reaction?
Disbelief, really. Shock and disbelief. Thinking that maybe it was a mistake. How could this be happening? It was over a 10-minute tops, really, Zoom. Yeah, unannounced. It was maybe announced maybe 12 hours in advance. So it was quite a shocker. It wasn't something I would have been able to do to launch that new business without the solid foundation of the income that I had. When that happened, it was, okay, what do I do at this point? My new business is really not earning much income yet.
Because you were still in the launching stages of the personal trainer fitness piece, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, I was still kind of rolling things out, marketing, and we are always marketing, but really still building things and trying to build a foundation of what this S.H.E fitness and nutrition was all about. It was 6 months into it. So it was not established, to say the least.
What allowed you to continue forward? You could have thrown in the hat. You could have just said, okay, we're going to stop. I need to go find another job for income. There's always a lot of choices when you suddenly have something happen like that. It's like, okay.
Right.
And just tell us about that.
There was a lot that went into it, actually, and, a lot of options, I guess, at that point. Practical options. Now, in my mind, there was only one option. That was to keep moving forward because I had poured my heart and soul into this new business, and still had a business loan. So to give all of that up 6 months in would be definitely a heartbreaker. But, the reality is that we have a family and we have bills to pay. And, what do you do at that point? And so my husband was very supportive, and he said, I know if you say you're going to do something, you're going to do it. We both knew that it would be some financial changes and setbacks, but that pushing ahead, eventually it would pay off. It's interesting how things happen, Christine, because I had started something right before that news of the direct sales company, changing their path. I had started something as a hobby. I had always wanted to be in the wine business. I'm kind of a wine connoisseur. I've been to Napa a couple times and just love learning about all things wine, grape growing, just harvest of grapes and winemaking and all of that. It's a hobby, right? It's a hobby. I didn't look at it as a business, but I had found something in that that was a good fit for me as what I thought was a hobby right before the news of that, and ended up looking into the business opportunity part of it after this news. Just thinking, well, I need something else to supplement my income. So started looking into that and found a great opportunity that I would have never looked at, maybe until retirement, really, because I thought it was something maybe I would do down the road. I feel like it was brought into my life for a reason. I feel like those things happen. Sometimes you don't know they're happening. Just by having that positive attitude of we're going to push forward, this is going to be okay because this is the right thing. I feel like some of those things happen sometimes that you don't always expect.
Right. The clean crafted wine came into your awareness about the same time as you were launching your company S.H.E Fitness and Nutrition, right?
It did. I was just a customer of it at that point, just because it kind of fit with my healthy lifestyle. I was interested in consuming it and learning more about it, but not as a business opportunity until things, happened as they did.
Right. I have to tell you, I just thought it was very groovy that someone who is into fitness and nutrition would also share wine. And because in my mind, like alcohol is taboo if you live a healthy lifestyle. To me, it's just a lovely blend. And the clean crafted wines really fit with what you're all about.
They really do. And, it's not something I ever saw either. And that's probably why at the time I wasn't looking at the business opportunity for it, is that I saw that as something in my personal life that was a hobby. And I was really focusing on fitness and nutrition. But when I found out everything I found out about how these wines are made with no added sugars and no chemicals, and just started learning all of that and thought, you know what, this is like my two worlds are colliding right here. I'm all about empowering women with healthier options. And I know a lot of women like wine. So instead of saying you can't have that if you want to be healthy, how about here's a healthier option for you if you would like to enjoy a glass of wine?
Perfect. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What have been some of the challenges, some of the things that you have experienced that gave you maybe the most growth or know-how or?
Oh, that's a really good question. It was quite a process. This didn't all just kind of fall together like I'm explaining it right now. It's quite a process over the past year. So this was just about 14 months ago that we got that news. And the first, I would say probably 9 months, right up until this past spring, I really didn't know. I really needed to almost redefine myself because I was involved in that company for 10 years and that it was so impactful. I thought what I needed to do is jump into another company just like it or better, well, now's my opportunity to find something like it or better. And I tried to do that. It didn't work for me. It worked for some people, but it didn't work for me. It wasn't my story. It wasn't my heart wasn't in it. It couldn't be a business for me. And it took me a little while to tell myself that. It took me a little while to realize that myself and to let go of that. That was hard. That was a lot of soul searching. That was a lot of what do I want to do now? How am I going to make this work? And then having the clean crafted wine come in at the same time as a business opportunity and thinking, wait, can I really do these two things together? Not having that stigma like you talked about, having to let go of that and really not worry about other people's opinions. I mean, this is me. This is my lifestyle. I'm not going to hide something that I'm passionate about, that's a hobby for me because of what other people might think. Because I know there's other people out there like me. So I want to be able to help them and empower them. I had to let go of a few things and really do some soul searching of how is it that I want to move forward now after 10 years of this?
Yeah, and I can hear that because what I understand is that direct sales company that you worked with 10 years, that you were passionate about the products. It was a personal relationship, and then you wanted to share it with people. Yes, you could go into another direct sales or multi-level marketing company because you've done it here, you can do it there. But what I hear is that it was just a job. It wasn't something that you had that personal connection with. I love the fact that you did the soul searching and let go. I mean, those two words are just so much juice, because so many entrepreneurs, so many people will want to hang on to the social construct or the expectation rather than allow them to let go of that so they can be who they are. And for you to be able to try on another company, decide that wasn't for you, step in and embrace the wine because that was you, that just shows a level of self-knowledge and some grit and some courage to say, I'm going to be who I am. That's powerful, Teri. I just love that piece of your story. It says so much. And I think there's a lot of lessons for the people that are hearing this will be able to say, oh, hey, I can do that too.
Yeah. Letting go of more than just a company, of more than just the products. There were also a lot of personal relationships. There were a lot of opinions around me doing or not doing certain things. That's a lot. It's heavy and it's a lot to let go of, but it's also very freeing to find what it is that you truly want to do in your heart.
Tell me where your business is at now, 14 months later, from where you were at that point in time. What kind of growth, what kinds of things are you doing? Tell me about your community.
Yeah, so S.H.E Fitness and Nutrition has continued to grow, and it is of course just my passion. It just brings me so much joy to be able to help women and be healthier, and especially right now. I mean, who knew? I feel very blessed to have launched my business in a virtual platform so that I was up and running and able to help women that way without having to scramble and, figure out what are we going to do? How are we going to do this to where we're not in person? So I do a lot of virtual training. I do some outdoor for my local ladies right now when the weather is nice. I have some groups that are online and virtual groups that are just really, really thriving. I'm really excited about that. The whole wine business thing, so that has boomed during COVID, and that is something I would have ever been a part of, had I not had to go through this whole process. That has been just a wonderful, wonderful thing. I feel very blessed in a dreary situation that our country's in to have this opportunity right now and to help other women find something that they can have an opportunity in as well. It's been really, really good.
It's lovely to hear positive stories that have come out of the pandemic because of the shift in things for you to be able to serve and support women and to have your business grow because you are already set up doing virtual and online. That's exciting. That's good to hear.
Yeah, it is good.
And I know that you have a studio in your home when you are doing the exercise videos. So tell me about blending mom, spouse, life, and businesswoman in the household.
That is a very interesting question. I have worked as a work from home mom since my kids were really young. When I was still in the corporate world, they were really little and we had a nanny come in, but I had an office at home. So they were used to that. They knew, if mom was on the phone or working in the office, they don't come running in and all that stuff. I mean, we just had those boundaries established from the time they were super young. Then when I became the owner of my own business, it changed a little bit because I was kind of a slave to that business. So I had to set my own boundaries as far as time frames, when I was going to be with my family, when I was going to be working. And a lot of times I would be with them, during supper time and after supper for a while, put them to bed and go back to work.
Right.
But over the past 10 years or so, 12 years now, that sort of changed for me again to where had been more manageable, still working from home. So I've been used to that.
If you were going to share, what key components are necessary to launch a solo entrepreneurship, what are some of the big pieces that you felt really made a difference for what you were able to create in the time frame that you were able to create it in? What should people know?
Looking back now, I'm a researcher, so I of course did all my research on, what's the best way to do this? What's the best way to make this vision that I have come alive? At first I was trying to do it as economically as possible, of course, maybe cutting some corners. And, I spent a lot of time doing that when the right team and the right people were right in front of me, and I knew it. And I wish I had just gone in that direction right away. I'm one of those people that I need to know all of the options. I need to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and making the right decision. Once I make the decision, I don't go back on it. I know it's right. Having that team of people that I really felt strongly about, even if it wasn't the least expensive option, I knew it was going to be right. I knew it was going to be a great fit, and it was. They were phenomenal. They were a group of women who helped women like me who wanted to launch their fitness and nutrition business because they were fitness entrepreneurs. They were marketing professionals, and they had all the background. They knew how to make it work. And that's what I needed. I needed somebody to help me take my vision and bring it to life and bring it to the market. So that would be my advice is find your people that can help you do that. Find the good resources and don't cut corners on it.
Awesome. Yeah, that's perfect. I would add on to that, go with your gut, because you said they were there, you knew it, and you spent some time double checking, researching, and seeing if there was a more financially economical way to do it, and ended up coming back and using them, and it was a good choice.
Yes, definitely.
Tell me about what you relish most running your business and being an entrepreneur.
I've been thinking about that a lot. I think especially during the pandemic is I feel so blessed to be able to be doing two things now that I am passionate about and that I love and thriving at it. It just brings me so much joy because I know what it's like to be in a job that you don't love. And it's not full of joy. And so being able to have two businesses that just bring me so much joy and bring others joy and make a difference in their lives, as far as the fitness and the nutrition and creating lifestyle habits that really make a difference, not only to them, but sometimes to their whole family. I relish that. I mean, I feel so blessed to be able to do what I am doing.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You said you'll be able to bring to women and then they can share it with their families because you do the fitness, but there's also the whole nutrition piece so they can make healthy choices, simplify the meal prep so you can have delicious, tasty stuff. And then, of course, they get to share that with their family. The family's healthier as well.
Right. And I hear so many stories from women that, especially with their kids, when they have young kids, we make the biggest difference in our kids' lives because they're watching us. They're watching every single thing that we do. The habits that we create are the habits that they're going to take forward into their lives. Even if those habits are changed when they're young, they haven't always been those habits, but you can change those habits. And they grow up with the healthy habits and they know these things, they take them forward into their families' lives. And I have clients that have lived a life of obesity and whose families have always been very unhealthy and had lots of diabetes and heart issues and things like that. And they are pretty much changing the trajectory of their families with what they are doing and the healthy habits that they're creating within their family unit going forward.
That's huge. That when
Yeah.
you're changing not just a single person's health, but their entire family. Like you said, the change of trajectory, that they can learn this and turn all of that history around. That's exciting. I can feel that. It's like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's so fun to see these little kids that want to work out with their mom and that are asking about what a healthy food is and, trying to help plan meals. I mean, that brings me joy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you, Teri. Is there anything else that you would want to say or share, maybe that we haven't touched on?
Like I've said, it's always been my heart to just empower, especially women, but empower people, anyone that's listening really, that if there's something that you're so passionate about that you want to find a way to share that with others or help others that would make a difference in their lives for a business or as a volunteering type of activity, I encourage you to do it. If you don't think there's a way, there is a way. You can talk to the right people, get your resources around you. Christine, I know you're a fabulous resource for people to help them work through their business mindset and their entrepreneurship and help launch them in that direction. So I would encourage anybody that has any thought, anything on their heart to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Find those people that can believe in you and believe in what you can create. Plug in with those.
Absolutely.
I echo that. Yes. If it's there, if it's a passion, if it's a desire, don't wait. Just figure out a way to dive in and make that a reality for yourself. Good job, Teri. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Well, thank you, Teri. It has been an absolute pleasure talking with you today. This is Teri Kallem with S.H.E Fitness and Nutrition. And look for her online. If you're plugged into this podcast, her information will be attached. Teri, thank you. It has been a pleasure speaking with you today.
Christine, thank you so much for having me on. You're just a joy to talk to and make a difference in so many people's lives. I'm just thrilled that you asked me to be on here.
You are most welcome. Thank you.